let's talk about errors. So we actually have a guide now. All right, so this is the new layout for our tutorials. We're getting so many tutorials basically, so we decided to categorize them. Now, what you'll be able to see is, if I get back to my slides. Oh yeah, errors. So you'll be able to see a section here which has errors. So under CCS usage on the right here, you'll be able to see at the bottom of all these guides. So this is where you'll find all your submission of CCS, your updating, your ceasing and whatnot. You'll actually also see some troubleshooting, steps, I guess. One with enrollments and one with submissions. So when it comes to enrollments, there are different sort of error codes you might get. Okay, so let's just go through them. One thing that might happen is you might get this code here, right? Now, when you see an error code, try and ignore all these like numbers and stuff that don't make any sense and just look at what's in the brackets. That's what I usually do. All the words that kind of make sense. See, this is like very codey basically, so you might not know what any of this means, but here it says start time, end time must not overlap. So it makes clear sense what it is. So in the first case here, you'll see that max length equals 10. Okay, so what that means is the enrollment ID that not enrollment ID, sorry, the CRN that was provided either on the child level or on the carer level actually exceeds 10 characters. So the CRNs must not have any spaces, as well as make sure there's no extra characters accidentally typed in. Okay, so if you see that error message, that's what it means. Okay, and we've clearly showed it here. CRN has spaces in it or it exceeds 10 characters. Okay, another thing we see a lot is this error message that says please enter mandatory field standard amount. Okay, now when you open that up, it basically means that the child doesn't have a fee which is displaying on their profile. Okay, so when you go to your children, I'll show you now. When you look at their room and current days enrolled, if this is blank, okay, you will get that problem because remember how I was saying that the enrollment focuses on the information on the child's profile. There is a stop, I guess, that if there's a child with no fee, it will bring up an error code. Okay, so just add in a fee. Make sure you always add session cares as well. It's good to get in that habit if you have sessions. Add them all in there and then update it. Basically, you have two different error messages. One can be on an individual level, so the carer, or one can be on the child level. And essentially, the CRN and date of birth do not match what's in the CCS database. We have this sometimes where it's like a missed typo. You write 04, but it's actually 14. Or it might be that the actual information in the database is different to what the parent's giving you. So if you ever have these issues, the best way to go about it is basically ask the parent to take a screenshot of what's in their MyGov, because what's in their MyGov is what's on the database. That's all we need to make sure we match. Okay, this does happen a lot, and the most clear distinction, I guess, to make here is individual is carer, child is child. Okay, so you know exactly where to focus. And as we saw before, you can easily see the carer's information from the quick link at the top. Make it really easy to get onto their profile and dissect that. Okay, back then with like the 10 characters, you can easily see that they have, you know, sort of like a what do you call it, CRN that has like this kind of stuff. You can easily go in and fix it. Okay, so you'll be able to change all that up and easily navigate between child and parent, or more accurately, carer slash guardian. Awesome. So start time, end time. So this is more for centers that are doing like before and after school care. So what will happen is you'll see an error message that looks like this, where it says start time, end time must not overlap with other sessions on the same day. Okay. So now when you've got the child and they have sessions, right, their first session cannot overlap with their second session. So if you have something like this and then like that, or they're the same, but even like that, for example, or whatever the case may be, there's an overlap there. Okay, one starts, or let's say it was opposite way, 6:30 to 8:45. Okay, and then you also did 6:30 to 16. See how there's an overlap between the end time of this one session and the beginning time of this? That's what will cause that issue. Okay, so make sure your session of cares are entered in correctly. Okay, awesome. And yeah, we talked about it briefly before, but basically with duplicate enrollments. So with duplicate enrollments, when you have a child which is ceased and then you try to create an enrollment for them, because the database, because the submission is looking through the database for the CRN number, if it finds that it previously had an enrollment, you will need to use the old enrollment and reactivate it. Okay, so you might see like a duplicate enrollment type error.